Well, we're back. Ties DIYs. Yeah, today's projects. Saturday. See if we can get a few things done before next week so that a few less things for the framers to deal with. First off, I want to get rid of these poles just because I want to get rid of them. And then after that, we'll come over. We're going to strip some brick off. I got to clean up that trailer full of lumber. Get rid of all that stuff and do a little bit of leveling here and things too. But yeah, I want to get that brick stripped off. The mason wants to know what is behind the chimney so that he knows what to bring and order and yada yada yada. So let's yeah, I'm gonna clean that trailer up quick and then maybe we'll get the chainsaw out and hack this post off. That'd be fun. Well, the wall is stripped. Whew. It is a very hot day, but luckily it's been shaded, so it hasn't been too bad. Got those all stripped. I gotta run and go price a job, and then when I come back, we're going up on the roof. We're gonna start pulling this. We're gonna put some plywood down, and then we'll go up on the roof and we'll start taking that apart and work our way down. It's kind of the last thing to come down that's holding people up. Once that's done, then basically I just have this wall to strip, which seems so nice and little now, and it's all standing height, so shouldn't be a big deal. And once all that is behind the shop, then I'll be happy it's all done. But today's plan yet is to tear this guy down, so let's do that. We got, well, you saw, we got our poles down. So, all right. Let's go price a shop bathroom out and sit in some air conditioning for a little bit. Might be a nice little breather in between and chug some more water and then come back and play on the roof. Should be kind of fun. We'll see. Curious to see what it's like in there. I know the mason's been bugging me to see kind of what he needs to get for material and stuff so that he can do his job, and I haven't had the time yet to peel things apart, but hopefully today's the day. At least we can get started and show him what he has up there, and then work at getting this thing stripped off. So we'll be back. Well, I don't know how this is gonna go, but we'll find out. So I start taking the cap off and then chisel this off. There's brick underneath, and let's just see what we find. Well, it's very hot out. As you can probably see, I look gross. I got it down. I've got it tarped off. I see the camera battery is dead. I have no idea when, but it's below the soffit level, so I should be able to get it from the deck now. So that's nice. Bricklayer, he called me, said save those. So we might reuse them. We'll see. Depends what kind of pipe I buy. But yeah, got it all down. It was probably too hot of a day, but when you got time, you got time. So you make it work. Threw everything down there. I will clean that up a different day because I'm done. I would like a very cold shower and a bunch more water. So yeah, let's go look at downstairs what we got finished, and then I think we're calling it quits for today. It's after 5 anyways, so it's quitting time. But let's go downstairs and check. Okay, back on the ground. So, well, you might be able to see that. A bit of a gap there. Ooh, right there, you can see a little bit of light. So you can see that I'm down at that level at least. So that means I can put some plywood up here and work off of that and get that all chiseled out a different day. We got that wall finished, that one all done. So yeah, chimney's coming down, and yeah, soon enough it'll be down, and then it gets reframed back up. So we'll gonna get cleaned up and go have supper and hang out with the wife and kids for a bit. And yeah, tomorrow's Sunday, so probably won't do any work stuff. I think I need a day off after last week and today, because yeah, I'm tired. Alright, we'll probably see you Monday when the framers are here and you can watch them do the second story. back. It is Saturday again. The guys have all the beams and stuff up all the way around. We'll do a walk around after. Today's project is getting rid of the rest of the brick on the chimney. We got to do that piece up there, and then that piece down there, and then if we get time, we'll take this wall off. But let's go up top. I disconnected it off the wood stove inside, and let's see if we can pull the chimney out. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we're gonna try. So let's see how that goes. Okay, that didn't work at all. Let's go downstairs and just start knocking bricks off, and we'll deal with it down lower. It's not gonna be ideal, but we'll make it work. See what we can make happen, and get all the brick off. Then we'll deal with getting the chimney out somehow. It is the morning of. The roof is coming off today. So they've got all the framing done last week. We waited a couple days to start because there was a chance of rain. Really didn't want the house getting wet. But start of this week looks good. We got all our beams up. They've got everything braced to where it needs to be. Yeah, basically we just gotta peel that roof off and start plopping some new trusses down, and we'll be good to go. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm hoping to be here most of the day. Work's busy and I should be elsewhere, but I don't want to miss this. So yeah, I think we're gonna hang around and help the guys out and see what we can all get done today. guys are moving right along. Got the plywood all stripped off. Getting it all cleaned up. And we'll cut these out and put some trusses up. I'm not sure at what point the video died, but this is where we're at. We have the entire roof off of my house, so please stay blue skies. I don't need any rain. Everything's off. We got the insulation cleaned up. That was a mess. My next job is label all these wires and then cut them so that we can pull them back, so that we can lay the trusses in between the pieces of wood that are here. They've got it spaced out that we basically don't have to move anything. So yeah, the guys are gonna have some lunch, and then I think we're gonna start putting trusses up. Oh, this is getting cut out because we're cathedraled out like that, so they're gonna cut this out at the same time. But yeah, me and one of the other guys he went through here, I went through there, and then he went through over there again. It's easier to do, especially when the insulation was on. You couldn't really see what you're doing, but that's okay. Drywall's not bad to fix, so we will get these wires clipped off, let the guys have some lunch and drink some water, and then let's pop some trusses up and see what it looks like. well, putting trusses up. The guys show up very early every morning, which is good, and they have been hard at it. I was getting some other stuff done. There was a time lapse going, but let's fill you in. So we got the trusses up. They started on the ones that are going to the side with the cathedral. Climb up. So this part here is going to be cathedral, and then that cathedral carries in to our living room, which is well exposed right now. So we got some cathedral in there. Yeah, covered decks coming. I guess this isn't the deck part, this is the house part, but the deck on this side's got all the little ones in. And then they're working their way around this side. And yeah, coming out with trusses over here. Pretty wild having the house all open and stuff, but it's good. We'll get it covered up. Forecast looks good. As long as we don't get any rain, we'll be alright. But yeah, they got 6 guys working at it. They got their crane running. It's gonna be nice. And they'll have to frame a little bit into there to make that work. And then this will carry out all the way over the end. So, pretty cool. Put you back on time lapse. I gotta go run and do a couple little service calls, and then I will be back to see what they've done. Well, I think the guys got all the main trusses up. I think there's a couple of the little shorter stuff, but they got to do some stick framing. So they've got to connect from these angle trusses for the porch, have to connect over to the trusses. If you can see it, there's a lot of boards going on. And then they also have to frame in the rest of this gable end as well. So that's going to come up, peak, and then come back down, and then they'll tie that across to the side. So they got that to do tomorrow, and then they are going to start sheeting. Figure they're going to start sheeting kind of around 10 in the morning. And then, yeah, we'll see what they get done for sheeting. And I will talk to the roofer and get them lined up right away. I'm not gonna lie, it looks much taller than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, it's crazy because this pipe and that pipe, I don't know if you'll be able to see the depth, but they were sticking out of the roof. They have not been cut off at all. So we're quite a bit taller, which is sweet because if I ever have to do anything in the attic, it's going to make a lot more room. Me and Megan were talking too, and I might oversize the attic access hatch that's going in our closet so that if we wanted to down the road, we could do a bit of storage up in the attic, just of, I don't know, some kids' toys or clothes or stuff like that we don't use, because right now we take everything from the house and then we tote it all out to the shop, and that gets pretty old. So it would be nice if we could keep it closer, if it's just inside, that would be a lot easier. Make a little stairs that go up there. I don't know. I'm not sure what we'll do, but an eventual plan. I think there's enough room up there we can do it though. And then, yeah, I think tonight I'm going to go up and start mretting wires together, because I think they have all their bracing on the bottom done. So I'm going to mret a whole whack of stuff together and see if we can get some lights working in the house. And then maybe tomorrow pick up a sheet of drywall, and then my evening plan will be to start patching some holes and stuff through the ceiling, and yeah, start plugging away at all that stuff, because it needs to be done. And it would be nice to have our house back to a usable state. I don't know if livable is the right word, because that's going to be a little while, but as long as we can function out of it and maybe cook and clean out of it, and not cook and clean, but cook out of it would be nice. Yeah, I think the guys are come back this week yet. They're gonna do the deck boards, potentially put some stairs on and stuff too, but it'll be sweet to see this thing sheeted and the shade that we get. And then once we get the waterproofing on, then I'll be able to sleep better at night, which is gonna be really nice. I'll go upstairs here and I'll show you inside quick too. It's gonna look really cool with the cathedral. I think I'm gonna do a pine board on the inside of the cathedral in the house part. I can't remember if I showed this yesterday or not, but at least now we have it all up. So we've got cathedral through here. It's really hard to tell with all the sticks, but it's cathedral through, and then it stops kind of part way, which is before our kitchen area. So just the living room area is all cathedral matching. So this wall will get framed up solid. And then I had them, well, when we did the design and stuff, this is going to stay closed off, so that the eventual plan is that, I'm talking 10 years or more, we can do some roll down screens. So we could screen this whole kind of space off, and then this carries through, so you can screen and do a little doorway or something. And then same on this side, come down. I think we'll do a little barbecue along there, whole angle piece. That way I can sit up here and enjoy the view. So, pretty cool. I'm super excited to have some covered porch, because I was also realizing the other day at our house, we don't have shade from any trees or anything like that. I've planted these 3 along here with the eventual plan that they'll come up, give some shade, and then wintertime, leaves fall off, you can see out, it'll be nice. That's going to be gone. I've also planted that whole tree line along there just to kind of close the property. I've always loved a driveway where there's trees on both sides. Thought that was just always a cool thing, so I did that as well. But it's going to be neat. This it's going to be a lot of space. It's cool. I'm excited. It's also going to be a ton of work. Not as excited about that, but whatever. I will pick away at it kind of at my own pace. The biggest thing is I think getting the sides closed in, and then get all the new windows and doors and stuff in, get some siding on it. If I can have that by winter time, and then we can pick away at the inside as things work, that will be perfect. I'm gonna have electricians said maybe not next week but the week after they can start, and then I'll make sure I have the trench for the hydro and stuff for them so we can go underground. They can pre-wire a whole whack of pot lights and different stuff like that and get all that ready, and then yeah, we'll be laughing. It'll be cool. But yeah, see all those little dangly wires? I gotta figure out which ones connect. I labeled them all, so they are numbered. Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. Could be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna rent those all together and then call it good enough for now, and the electricians will deal with it later. That's a them problem. So, but I just want some lights and stuff, and some porch lights, put a plug up top so we can run Christmas lights. And then I was gonna have them on a separate switch, the Christmas light ones, but then I decided that they make a lot of plugs that are like smart plugs that you can connect to Wi-Fi. So instead of running wire back and forth to either side so that you have it all on a switch, then I can just run it with some plugs that will turn off and on based on the Wi-Fi. So that'll be easy. And then yeah, maybe a ceiling fan up there. I don't know. Pretty cool though. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. This is super exciting. See how many times I can repeat the same thing. Alright, well, I am gonna head over to my in-laws and have some supper with them and the family, and then yeah, maybe put some wires together tonight. So stay tuned, and maybe I'll wait for the time lapse until they're ready to do some sheeting, because otherwise they're just doing a little bit of stick stuff. It's not that exciting, but we'll see what I get, if I get tied up on a job or not, and we'll get some more time lapse of them going. So yeah, and then we'll wait for tomorrow, I guess. Finding the words to say is, I think, the most interesting part of talking to a camera, but I'll get there. We'll figure it out yet. Well, the guys are back at it. They are framing in the gable end on this side, so they're mimicking the other side to come down on this one, do this, and then do all the tiebacks. The other guys are doing kind of the soft fit and fascia board there. Fascia board? I don't know the terms, but doing that, and then they have to match this line into that roof. So they're working away at that, and yeah, and they're gonna start sheeting, and then the roofer is supposed to come waterproof. So I'll set up a time lapse. I'm gonna go run some service calls, and yeah, see what they get done. Well, the guys have been hard at it all week. Don't mind the dogs fighting in the background. They're just excited to not be tied up anymore. They've been hard at it, and here's a couple things that they got done. We got these little peak pieces done. Obviously the roof is all done. The guys got the existing house waterproofed. They got rained out. This cloud kind of came up over the lake and came out of nowhere. They got this gable end all done. We did it with just a 2x, I think it's a 2x10 and 2x8s. The reason being so that it's flush. So after we have the siding in, it'll look like there's something there, but there's not actually. That's just gonna help keep critters, birds, all that sort of stuff from nesting. I know we have a issue with, I don't know if my wife wouldn't call it an issue, but I call it an issue, where the bank swallows and barn swallows and all of those like to make nests. Then they poop on everything, and I don't like it. This is closed in, which is nice. It's the same level as the beam across. They had to frame that down a little bit. They've done a bunch of prep work for doing the deck boards. We're doing like a border around the outside, and then we're going to put straight pieces in, and then all our deck boards will go in between. That way there is no seams or any of that. And a straight piece kind of wherever there's a post, so it'll be like little sections. That was suggested by the framer, and I agreed that it would look pretty cool. Some other things I've been working on kind of in the evenings and stuff like that. I took the window out so we have a little access. I'm hoping to get this wall chopped out here, I don't know, the next day or two, and then we can use the full space, and we'll put some vapor barrier or something across that for now. My little rat nest of wires. So I've pulled everything back from in the attic and then just threaded it together. We had to cut. It looks terrible and sketchy, but don't put your fingers there, and then you're good. It's just temporary. Electricians are coming. They are going to make it nice, move the panel, do all that stuff. I was just very tired of not having lights in my house. So we have some lights. Some lights got removed, but see? It works. We had to remove this fixture. The framer, it was a good laugh. He was telling the guys to be careful and not go through the roof, and then turned around and slipped and went through the roof and took out the light fixture, which was getting ripped out anyways. I was laughing at him, and 10 minutes later I went through the roof over there. So, you know, at least it was us that did it. I don't know. Could be worse. But yeah, we've got some of the fixtures. Don't mind the blue light. Some of the fixtures had to come out because there's trusses in the way. I had to take the bathroom fan out because the truss went across there, so I have to move that. So I've got some drywall stuff I got to fix, but not so bad. Overall, minimal damage on the inside. Some screws popped loose. A couple corners got soft because we had to remove some blocking so we could get the new trusses in, but not a big deal. I'll just put some blocks up and re-drywall it. And then, yeah, I think we'll drywall there, and then this is going to be like a pine board or something. I think this wall is going to stay straight and then continue out across over there. That's going to just give us some wall space. I think if we got rid of that into the stairwell so that it was, you know, railing across, you just lose so much space to put couches or pictures or anything like that, because then we've only got, you can see my marks here, so we've only got like this little chunk of wall that's that chunk of wall. And then same over here, there's a little chunk, but a little chunk there. On this wall, yet to come, once the roof's all finished waterproof, I gotta cut a window into here, and then I'm gonna leave a chunk so we can do some light switches and things, and then I'll come down, and I got an 8-foot patio door that goes into here. Yeah, basically as soon as the waterproofing is all finished on the roof, then I will start working away at taking the siding off and getting that done. And then I have to do this. I have to sheet the whole thing with OSB and then put that 1-inch insulation stuff on top of it. I just gotta watch where I step here so I don't fall through. But yeah, they had to make some adjustments on this. They had to get change the direction of a couple joists and stuff just to make it work better for how we're doing the floors. But deck boards are going on tomorrow, so that's going to be super exciting. I'm ready for that. I was just thinking that I need to figure out what I'm going to do for here, because I would like to do like a barbecue area, and I don't think I need the railing behind it. We should almost do it solid. So I don't know if they're doing railing right away. Probably not tomorrow, maybe in the next week or 2 weeks, or maybe I'll get to it before they do. I don't know. We will sort that out and figure that out when that time comes. But yeah, I'm excited for some deck boards. That's going to be pretty cool. It rained before. That rain that came out of nowhere, that was crazy. I took a video on my phone, so hopefully that works to get transferred over into this. But it was dripping water like here. I had a few drips come into the house before they got the this piece up on top of the ridge there. But yeah, I was ready to go get towels. I thought we were gonna get drenched, and I had buckets ready, and I didn't know how I was gonna catch it, but it worked, and we didn't get wet on the inside, so it was awesome. But yeah, no, the guys have been slugging away. I've been in and out a little bit, not as much as I would have liked. I would have liked to be around a lot more, but work was busy, and I mean, you can't turn down work when you got work, and I got things to pay for, so got to take it while you can get it. But I'm very excited with how it's turned out. It's coming along extremely nicely, and it's looking really, really good. I can't wait to see when it's done, but I don't know when done will be. It's probably going to be one of those projects that drags on for a very long time, because there's a lot of little things that I'm going to have to do and deal with and fix, and yeah, it's going to be busy, but it's good. Busy's good. Keeps me out of trouble that way. But I hope you've enjoyed everything till now, and maybe we'll do some deck boards and stuff like that on the next video and see how we make out. But thanks for watching, and hope you've enjoyed tearing the roof completely off my house all the way down to drywall, literally nothing left, and then building this and having all these trusses and everything else put in, and the plywood, and yeah, I feel like I haven't slept this week, but that's okay. It's worth it. I can always sleep next week or the week after or something. That's fine. Sleep's overrated. But hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.